Rec is RecTech more than a grill. It's a lifestyle built by grillers for grillers. Smart grill technology. RecTeq.com. RecTech with a Q.com. I've always, we were talking about this morning. And listen, we know that Dak's better than Andy Dalton. And Dak is a franchise quarterback. Dalton was a franchise quarterback. He's 32. I don't think anybody can win right now with Dallas. I think the coaching's bad. The defense is terrible. The offensive line, after Zach Martin got hurt last night, Dallas now has 5 backups. It's a mess. They have a great wide receiving core. But even Zeke now is not trustable. Nobody can win with this team. Well, Carson Wentz can. Carson Wentz can win with this team, and Mahomes and Russell Wilson. But I feel like Dallas has been chasing this Dak mirage since his rookie year. So he's a 4th rounder. He goes 13-3. Every year since then, it's gotten worse. And every year they've relied on him more, it's gotten worse. But that year was a mirage. It really was. They had the best offensive line easily in the NFL. We were calling it one of the best offensive lines ever. Zeke wasn't beat up. Zeke was he led the NFL in rushing. They played a last place schedule. They played the AFC North, which had that year one winning team, and they played the NFC North, where Detroit was actually viable that year. It was a mirage. The more the Cowboys take away his rookie year, have leaned on Dak. He's 29-25 with 40% of those wins coming against the Giants in Washington. That's not to say he's not a franchise quarterback. That's not. He's better than Dalton, but he's going to cost you $35 to $40 million a year, and Andy cost you $3 million. Now, Dak is better, but he's going to be very expensive, and he's going to get a contract. But I find too many people worried about what Dak's going to make. You know who we worry about quarterbacks and their contracts? Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Dak. They're good. We never talk about Russell Wilson's contract. We never talk about Aaron Rodgers' contract. I don't even know what Tom Brady makes now. And after about 2 days, who gives a rip what Patrick Mahomes makes? We talk about how great they are. The reality is the more Dallas has relied on Dak, which is not fair, the worse the team gets. They're a 500 team since that first year, with 40% of their wins coming against the Giants and the Washington football team. That is not to say Dak isn't good. Dak is good. I like Dak. I like the leadership stuff more than the accuracy and the arm stuff, but he is somebody I could build around. But I feel like Dallas is just chasing Dak's rookie year. They're just chasing it. He is a complementary piece. He is not Mahomes. He's not close to Russell Wilson. I mean, just to show you, and a lot of people for the last couple of years, I'm not the only one to say this, we've all said this, that a lot of Dak stats are a little deceiving. They trail in every game. You know, they give you an example of what stats mean very little. Andy Dalton last night had more first downs than Arizona, dominated time of possession, 3 for 3 on 4th down, 34 of 54 for 270 yards, and was never really competitive against a quarterback, Kyler Murray, that completed 9 passes. I don't want to hear about stats. I don't want to. Mahomes yesterday was terrific. He didn't have a big stat game. He did against the Rams on Monday Night Football years ago and lost. Again, if you gave Dak Matt Nagy, Dak Sean McVay, Dak Kyle Shanahan, maybe Dak is great. But Jerry's not going to get that kind of coach, because that kind of coach is going to demand power and control of the offense, and they're not going to take Kellen Clemens, Jerry's friend. The bottom line, Dak with this staff and this defense, Andy Dalton with this staff and this defense, neither is going to win big games against good teams. And yes, Dak is better. We know that. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Well, according to Adam Schefter, the Dolphins are going to name Tua as their starting quarterback.
How much fun is that? No, it's a Week 7 story. It's a new, fresh story.
It is, and it's going into their bye, and they will be playing the Rams coming out of their bye, which would explain why Aaron Donald is trending right now. He'll be replacing Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was 18 of 27, 191 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this Sunday against the Jets. This season, he's had over 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Tua did make his NFL debut against the Jets in garbage time. He was 2 for 2 with 9 yards. He last played in a football game with Alabama on November 16th of 2019. As I said, they're on a bye this week, so he will get his first start against the LA Rams.
And he'll get all first-team reps. So what he's
Yes.
really going to get is 2 weeks, 10 practices, first-team reps, and that'll – listen, I think it's catching all of us a little by surprise because Ryan Fitzpatrick had played really well. We knew he would play, and I do wonder, Joy, that Justin Herbert came in and was so spectacular.
I think he started the clock.
I do. Joe Burrow and Herbert are so good. You say to yourself, the game now is built for offense. I mean, we thought Buffalo had a great defense last year. They can't stop anybody. Who's got a great defense outside of Pittsburgh right now? So I think you look at it and you look around the league and you're like, let's see what we got here for 8 weeks.
Well, look, I know Dolphins fans are freaking out. And to Dolphins fans, I would say, please stop being delirious for once in your existence, okay? The Dolphins are 3-3, all right? They just beat the Jets, who are by far the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
San Francisco with a hobbled Jimmy Garoppolo. Calm down. It's not about this year. Every single year, the Dolphins win a couple games in a row, and Dolphins fans start freaking out. We're on our way to the Super Bowl. Relax. That's not what's happening. We haven't had a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino.
Right.
It is not about this year. Fitzpatrick knows that. He's been incredible.
Yeah.
He's bought into the role of being the vet and the mentor to Tua perfectly. You saw him on the sideline cheering when Tua got in. He's not living in some alternate reality where he's the quarterback of the future. He knows that.
Yeah.
And you know what you have with Fitz.
Yeah.
He's been playing great. We're 3-3. The Bills just lost to the Titans, who might be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
And the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, like Miami, this Kansas City's really good. Tennessee's really good. New England with Cam, I think, will be good. Baltimore's really good. And there's even teams like Denver and the Chargers who, depending on a Sunday, can be really good. Like, Miami's got to chill a little bit.
Calm down.
Yeah.
This is the right move.
Yes.
And it's actually at the right time because you want to give Tua extra time to prepare for an LA Rams team that is still a very good team, despite what their last week has looked like.
Yeah, it's at home. It's in Miami, right?
Yes, it's Rams at home, then they're at the Cardinals, then they have the Chargers at home. This is the right move.
Yeah.
You're building for the future. And as you mentioned, Herbert came in right away, has been successful. Burrow, despite the situation in Cincinnati, looks great. You have to see what you have in Tua.
Yeah.
You have to see what you have because
right.
if God forbid, Tua doesn't turn out to be what you thought he was, you have to draft someone else.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really, this sounds ridiculous, but if you give him 8 starts and you're like, you know what, a little small, doesn't have the escapability we thought, it's not crazy to think you draft somebody else because you're going to have 2 first 10 top 12 picks next year, yours and Houston's. It's not crazy.
Or you'd rather just ride out the rest of the year with Ryan Fitzpatrick based off of what he's done in his career.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say some miracle happens, you happen to get a wild card bid, and you will certainly lose in the first round of the playoffs, and then you've done what?
Yeah.
Now, you've had Tua sit for an entire year. That worked for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes may end up at the end of his career being one of the greatest, like the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
So just calm down a little bit. This is the right move for Tua, and I'm excited about it, obviously. So injuries keep stacking up for the Eagles, the latest being tight end Zach Ertz and running back Miles Sanders. It's getting bizarre.
Well, I said this morning in the meeting, I said, do they have field turf or grass? Because I honestly, it's like I've never seen a team fall apart for 3 straight. I was told they have grass. I can't figure this out. Everybody's hurt. Always. They had a receiver get hurt this weekend. He was not touched. It was a deep ball up the right sideline. He bobbled it, dropped it, fell to the grass, got up, and he limped off the field. Do they have concrete under there? I mean, what's happening?
It's bizarre. Ertz suffered a high ankle sprain against Baltimore. He tried to re-enter the game after the initial injury, was unable to finish. He'll likely be replaced by Richard Rodgers since tight end Dallas Goedert is on IR as well. Sanders suffered a knee injury, which will likely have him sidelined for Thursday night's game against the Giants. Ertz has 24 catches for 178 yards and a touchdown this season, and Sanders has 434 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns this season. They also have Lane Johnson injured with an ankle injury, Jalen Reagor, wide receivers injured, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, but Jackson is expected to play on Thursday, so I don't...
Oh, he is?
Yes,
right.
but the injury woes continue for
right.
the Eagles. Finally, the Patriots dropped to a losing record in October for the first time since 2002, but Cam Newton isn't ready to sound the alarm yet.
there's no need to press the panic button. There's no need to, start reinventing the wheel. We have the answers in that locker room. I take full responsibility of where we are as an offense. And, when talking about, the whole big picture, I think we will be fine. And, but yeah, through it all, we just have to do better when given an opportunity.
I honestly feel like they're the one team that has been really negatively affected by COVID. They're not practicing. When I watched that game, I knew within 5 minutes, Joey, it was one of my Blazing 5 picks. Within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, no, this is the wrong, I'm on the wrong side. I totally picked the wrong team. You have to practice a little. And this is the NFL. Denver came in and flew past them. By the way, even New England's defense wasn't great Sunday. So, like, when their defense struggles against the young quarterback, they don't struggle ever against young quarterbacks. Yeah. Drew Lock had a couple of bad picks later, but for the first half, up and down the field on New England.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick's record against young quarterbacks is staggering.
28-1.
Right. So, but you're right. As you saw that this wasn't the Patriots we're used to watching. I don't think there's any reason to panic about the situation.
No.
They're going to get back on track. They have the 49ers this week. Then they're at the Bills and at the Jets. Obviously, the Jets is a dub. So the Bills, I don't think, are slipping. I think they played the two best teams in the league, and last night was kind of weird. But look, the AFC East is an interesting situation when it comes to the Patriots. We just discussed what the Dolphins are doing, and who knows? Maybe Tua comes in and he plays lights out and continues in the trends that the Dolphins fans think that they're going in. But I still think that this is the Bills' division. The Patriots getting on track in the next couple weeks. Like, we have a lot of football left. I don't think there's anything to overreact to that loss, and I don't count the loss with Cam Newton out.
Listen, Buffalo, say what you want. Buffalo, there was a ball strip last night, and the Chiefs running back was ruled as down. That game.
I mean, he was down, though.
He was down. But I'm saying this NFL, if his knee's not on the ground, Buffalo gets it. They had momentum. Buffalo's fine. They're not I think they're.
Their defense is not what it was last year.
Yeah, they're fine.
They have problems on the defense.
They feel like a playoff team, but a one-and-done playoff team to me.
But I still think they'll win the AFC East.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks.